Shannon, obviously a disappointing loss on the weekend. Can you take us into the aftermath and what the fallout's been like?
Yeah, so obviously it was a tough weekend. Obviously we went in there hoping that we'd get a win and that would set us up for a top 4 finish, and obviously we've got one round to go now to actually clinch that. And I think in the aftermath of that, we sat down as a group in our meeting post-game, and we kind of just sat through it, and basically was like it was an opportunity that we missed. And obviously we may have gone into that game maybe just not expecting St Kilda to bring as much as they did, but obviously Jessie Wardlaw's there and she probably gave away all our trade secrets. So we obviously regrouped this week, and it's a big challenge coming up against Melbourne. So it's always a feisty game against them, and it's always a good challenge. But yeah, we've regrouped. We obviously had training last night. We went through our post-game meetings and we went through some footage and stuff, and Craig obviously outlined some things that we can still work on. So we'll put that into good use through this week, and then yeah, hopefully Saturday night we can get a win against Melbourne.
How do you reconcile the difference between beating Adelaide one week and having this amazing pressure and performance, and then falling away so dramatically a week later?
Yeah, I think obviously the longer the season goes, the more tired you get, and obviously we had 2 big outs throughout the week, but that shouldn't be something that obviously is the end result or issue as to that happening. But obviously Soph and Kath are 2 very big players, and we obviously had to fill those gaps, and we probably as a group didn't quite perform to the level that we needed to across the ground. So obviously, yeah, it's hard when you go against a team like Adelaide. Obviously it was a hard game, it was in the heat. It probably drained us a little bit more maybe than we thought it would, but yeah, obviously we didn't put up the result that we wanted to against St Kilda. So now we try and rectify that against Melbourne, and yeah, hopefully we get everything in place and yeah, get a good win.
How does it sit with you? You're such a proud player and you're such a proud group, and we just haven't seen a performance like that for so long. Even the games you've lost in the last few years have been a kick here and a kick there, and Saturday was sort of out of character. How does it sit with you being an OG and so prideful of the
Yeah, obviously I think we kind of looked at the game, and I don't think we performed as probably badly as maybe the scoreline kind of maybe showed. But yeah, we as a group after the game spoke about the fact that we did let ourselves down within the result, and obviously we regroup and we get around each other. There's no pointing fingers as to who to blame or anything like that. We just need to fix some things that weren't happening in the game, and I think it's now trying to figure out ways in a game when we are down with pressure, with the score, just trying to figure out a way to then flip the script and get it back on our terms. Because I think that's probably where maybe something on the weekend didn't quite go our way. We gave away a couple of free kicks, and then we weren't able to get back into the game from there. So it's just finding those things in the game, finding the positives and being able to flip it, getting around each other and always keeping positive rather than maybe giving away those silly free kicks, letting them put the pressure back on us, and then yeah, being able to just kind of grind our way back out of it like we do in most games. Because I think maybe that's what happened. We probably just let our pressure off just a little bit, and that's when St Kilda were able to get up into the wind and score a couple of those easier goals, and we probably just didn't use the wind to our advantage as much as we wanted to either.
So what's the real key? Because you've got, you know, I'd say the ultimate test, but you had one a couple of weeks ago in Adelaide. You've got the other co-premiership favourite, I guess, this weekend. What's the key to turning things and getting back to that great form?
Yeah, obviously it's always tough when you play against those top teams as well. Obviously we've had 2 good wins against North Melbourne and Adelaide, and I think it seems to be a driving factor, and it shouldn't necessarily be against those top teams. It should be the whole way through, but it always seems to be when we're playing against those teams like Adelaide and Melbourne, we bring out our best. So we just need to find that again this week. So training really well, getting around each other, making sure that we do all the 1% stuff off the field as well, and making sure we're really recovered, and hopefully we can hit the ground running on Saturday and have a really good performance and put 4 quarters together, because I don't think we've seen our best footy this year. So hopefully this weekend we can turn it on.
Do you feel the urgency of that top 4 position? Because it's a big deal, isn't it? Like, you win, you're in the top 4, and if you lose, you're on sudden death through the final.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it's always most important that we try and lock in as high as we can in a final, and it's almost do or die this weekend. So we're not even focusing on finals at this point. It's just simply we need a win this weekend. so that we can finish as high as we possibly can. So yeah, focus is purely on Melbourne this weekend, and then whatever happens after that, we'll focus on them.
What difference, it sounds like, so Kathy sounds like she'll be okay, and Sophie will have to wait and see, but what difference does Kathy make to your team just having her back in that?
Yeah, so I actually don't know what the goal is with either of them at the moment, but yeah, like obviously Kathy is significant to our group. She's a runner, she provides a lot of power through our midfield, and I mean, all the other girls have been stepping up in like when she wasn't there, but it will provide another aspect to our game. Obviously, you can see it when she does play. The ability for her to run, to break lines. She's a really good user of the ball now, so she's just an all-round footy player that, you know, she's obviously come a long way in a short period of time, but she's definitely a key to our group. So if she does get back in this weekend, it will be obviously a really important part for her.
Your backline, I say your backline, it's been in a bit of flux this year, obviously.
Yeah.
Kate's not there this year.
Yeah.
She's had a baby, which is amazing. Bree's played midfield a bit. It's not quite this settled unit that we're so used to. I mean, you played forward, now you're back. Like, how have you found that cohesion and that part of the ground, which is so important and will be this weekend?
Yeah, obviously it's been a little bit chop and change kind of weekly, but I mean, we've got a core group of players that have been there the entire time. So obviously Lutzi is a big missing point of that, but we've obviously missed her in the season before with her ACL. So other girls step up in those positions, and obviously we've got 2 new players with Poppy and Jen back there too. So it's just teaching those two the aspects of our game that we want to play, and then the rest of us leading from the front and doing the role that we need to do. Obviously Bree pushing into the midfield is another big loss, but we've got other girls that are stepping up into the positions, and obviously Nat's been really good this year. The other girls are stepping up really well. I've obviously moved out into the forward line at points, but at the end of the day, we know that we need to have a role to play. No matter who's playing there, we're always a group. We always make sure that we come together and that we have each other's back. So it doesn't matter who's playing there. We just know that we need to play the role, and obviously shut down players when we need to. But yeah,